certain places they respect Jews so heavily that every Friday everything shut down. And man, to be having a wonderful time.
They do now.
Yeah, it's amazing how certain people just enjoying life, and some of us living so miserable. And it's all our fault in our mind, and it's on us because we don't know what it looking in the right place for truth.
Exactly.
Where it may be, then it's on you.
Yes. That's what's powerful.
Boy, what I was just seeing how the sisters just rejoicing in this Juma. It's every Friday. Don't miss that. It's mandatory over there. But over here, it's check day.
Oh yeah.
When check day, payday.
Yeah, we have to begin to
Moon day, money day.
So we have to begin to understand what our mind is. It's so important for us to evaluate thoughts. The thoughts they gave us has built them an empire.
Sure have.
And it has not served us at all.
That's correct.
So the thoughts that's in the minds of the people have been contaminated thoughts. So we all have to do the same work together. And clearing our minds from falsehood.
That's right. And we as a people, we can't ignore this. Is that what we have learned in life, we need to unlearn so we can learn that which is true and which is true. Because we've been lied to, and it was their intention to deceive us right from the get-go. So they can control us and tell us what to do, when they go and when they come, when they get off and when they go. So.
And that has been passed down as a tradition.
Generation to generation, yeah.
And, that's what has to be questioned. Has it been beneficial?
No, it's not.
Who've been serving that ideal?
No, it's not. That's why it's time for a change, and I'm talking about a zap immediately, or just the quick, whatever word you can use.
Well, I know we have to understand how life works through real logic. Now that it's night, daytime, you ain't gonna see that it's just gonna be night all of a sudden.
That's right.
So there's things that has to happen within for that process to occur. And that's what knowledge of self is for. It's a cleansing tool to remove all falsehoods.
Yeah.
Because once you understand and identify yourself by yourself, this changed the whole landscape.
Yeah.
But when you are identified by another, and you choose to identify yourself by someone else voice and what they say over your own voice and what you say, then that's where the confliction happens.
Yeah.
And this is where the concepts of the day have led us into mental enslavement.
That's correct.
And so we don't know we mentally enslaved, which is the worst slavery.
When you don't know.
When you don't know.
No, that's not conscious.
Right. So that was the way consciousness was supposed to cleanse out all of the filth. It's its own cleansing system. But most people ain't doing the conscious cleansing. They doing object and letting the object do something for them. but then themselves ignoring the countries, which now making them ignoring the wisdom. And so now we at different states of life and well-being for different people. And that's why this cosmology is so important. Because certain people got certain positions. And these positions affect everyone because we all under the same moon. Mm-hmm. So when the moon is in certain positions, it affects the whole world. Mm-hmm. Because the whole world is under the energy of the moon. Mm-hmm. The moon controls bodies, and it goes a lot deeper. And these are the understandings we need that we wasn't given due to religious dogma. Religious dogma has been the enemy that has came and destroyed self-knowledge. Mm-hmm. So self has to re-understand who am I.
Yeah. Bad.
So we can now reinstate that I am self. Mm-hmm. The living law.
The living law. Mm-hmm.
And that's what our ancestors, this is what's so beautiful with them. They left us a whole library full.
They did.
And people came in and destroyed the library.
Burn the library down. What enemy would want to burn down someone else's library when he didn't build it, nor did he put the contents that was in the library? And who gave him the power or the thought to burn it down?
These people that we call the Persians.
Did we go up there and burn down the Library of Congress? You see the difference in the character of different people?
Mm-hmm. And see, I'm glad you said that, because when Islam is in your heart, you don't touch anyone's sacred objects.
Beautiful.
So no matter what it is, if it's sacred, then it's untouchable.
Islam in your heart.
So when they did that, it showed what was not in their heart.
The character, right on.
And this is why we understand we not the same.
We're not.
Not in heart.
No.
It's two different systems operating. Mm-hmm. And this was the functionality of creating a new religion, mm-hmm, where they can actually worship the opposite and then say it's in the name of divine.
Yeah. Now they're good at that.
So they hid the divine creator, knowing the divine creator exists, told the people, don't use divine creator, use God. And this is how they supplanted their territory called governments all over the world, or the G7.
Yeah.
All this comes in effect to what they serve and what they worship. That's opposite of Islamism.
Yeah.
This is what the great men of our land brought to us themselves. The grand gifts of these understandings. We've been waiting for this time, for this revelation that we've been revealed with. Many people came and told us what was going down, and what was going down has come forth. And now that the prophecy is being fulfilled, things are taking course. So as things are taking course, as the sun is moving through, the moon is coming at night, so everything in beneath is in exact order. It's in motion. Islam in motion. So yeah, that's first step.
Started off since I was right. Super 11. The moon. Al-Qamar. the ancient name of the moon and its meaning. 1, O you who believe, let it be said, Al-Qamar, the moon. And the 10th name of Allah, the One, the Absolute, the Almighty. The real perfect 10. For the ruler of the night, the great light. 5, the illuminator of ancient past and the companion to our ancestors. Now that's something deep to think on.
We're finna learn a great deal.
That's something deep there to think on and to speak on. It said the illuminator, the light, to give light unto your ancient forefathers and mothers, their path, their way.
Their way. See, so
not the USA.
Right.
Let's be clear today.
They use the divine creator's creation.
His creation. Nature.
This is what Islam is.
Yeah. The ancient past. USA ain't ancient. That's modern. When we looking at days, months, and years. USA ain't ancient. Now, how in the hell we get to where we at today? Not left our ancient forefathers' ways and paths. And picked up a crook ideas and concept. Because you know, it's just amazing when you were speaking on leaders. And I thought about that. And the leaders we have today, they don't ask the ancient people nothing. They make all the decision, the leaders. Is the decision that they make is it beneficial to you? If not, then you need to do something about it. Just like he's doing something about his ways and his people's ways, then we got to do the same thing. That's self-explanatory, and it's simple as 1, 2, 3. And it goes on to say about the moon that it was a companion to our ancestors. Think on that. If you could think of a companion when it comes down to male and female, just think on the moon and your ancestors. The connection. It's like my son was saying about what all the moon does. When you're dealing with gardens and plants and dealing with that, it plays a big, major role in all that. What a beautiful companion to have. You got anything you want to speak on?
On this one. Let's just keep coming.
Okay. 6, the revealer. Revealer of that which is lost against the burning glare of daylight. And we do know that daylight has a glare to it. We can't deny that. 7, the mysterious companion to the constellations and stars of heaven. Not only only to your ancestors, but to the constellation and stars of heaven. Everything is connected.
This is what we have to understand, the grand understanding of Islam. Islam is a grand understanding of divine creation. Directly from the divine creator. Who is only of divine law. While we get to witness both. This is why you have two selves. This is the two understandings that is over all understandings. One is an overstanding, as the moon is over the earth. The moon is a ruler, illuminator, and a revealer. These are three key attributes. If one wants to know self.
Right on.
These aspects that we see in as the moon, they are inside of self as well.
Beautiful.
The outer is the reflection of the inner.
Beautiful.
So when you have your two selves, this is what gives you the ability to go to two worlds. So this is very, as we keep going along.
Oh yeah.
These surahs are.
Oh, this thing is beautiful.
Yes.
And you know, it's just amazing how in this life form, how you see on one side how you got the earth, the sun, the moon, and then beyond this is another life,
right?
Another world, another existence. If that's too big for you to grab, or too big for you to understand, because sometimes we can't see nothing but just this here, what we see in the man in the mirror. And we can't see, we can't even think nor see beyond that.
You know,
go ahead.
It depends on the mind, because we have to speak for ourselves.
That's right.
People have to stop putting limitations on others. Maybe because we have to understand everybody is unique. And so everybody got different powers down here.
Right. So
you have like a more ability in one area, but someone else has an ability in another area.
Yeah, right on.
And they're gonna always be weaker in other areas because their strength is in these areas.
That's right.
And this is where you have everybody come together with their strength.
There you go.
And this is where you build a great environment as the heaven. See, the sun has a strength, the moon has a strength. They never overtake each other.
Right on.
They understand self.
Harmony.
See, when you understand self, moon is a self. The sun is a self. You have two selves. You have a sun self and you have a moon self. So these things have to be understood and extracted. Why Islam is so great as the form of the only thing, let's just say, the only thing is valued as much as Christianity. Billions to millions of people follow Islam just as millions and billions of people follow Christianity. Now, to understand how these two represent two totally different ancestors is the grand unveiling.
Mm-hmm.
This is why when we come to the moon now, you don't have the same understanding if you read throughout the biblical text. You have knowledge based upon the cycles, new moon, full moon.
Mm-hmm.
But beyond new moon and full moon, you really don't know beyond the cycles of the time.
Yeah.
And that's for a reason. That's to knock you out of divine realms. The self has to get to 3 to the 3rd heaven for it to finally understand itself and to make it back home. And you have 2 selves. So it's 2 worlds you got to learn how to maneuver and get out of.
Right. Yeah.
To actually get back to your 3rd heaven. So you in the 1st level heaven now, called earth or existence.
That's what I was speaking on right there, but you're making it more clear what I was talking about. This slide in the life of young. Yeah, that right there.
Yeah.
What you're explaining. Yeah.
And that's why we have certain teachers that tell us you're not the body nor the soul.
That's right.
This is because it's trying to alert you that it's 3 heavens. And you in the 1st heaven now because you got the body.
That's right.
And that's evident. You don't need no one to tell you that. This is why Islam is the way it is. But people in Islam also have taken it, like imams, have taken their authority away from Allah into their own personal usage.
Yeah.
Well, Islam at its core never gave an imam, never gave a sheikh, never gave a sultan any authority. You won't find it. Al-Sufian Islam gave all the people authority. Every person is a sheikh. Every person is a sultan. Every person is an imam. Every person is a sheikhess, priestess, priest, part of the hierarchies of Allah. These is the understanding of the 144,000 that's in the Bible. This is given here that's the 144 Sufis that was to come to enlighten the whole world. And when people think that when they hear Islam, that Islam is some type of sun and moon worship, because that's an ideology that Christian concepts believe. So this is how they attack different sides, but it's no attack on either side when you stand in the divine creation of truth. So when we're talking about the mysterious companion, not only is it the sky's mysterious companion, this is your second self. This is your mysterious companion that lives within, that we don't understand, gives us the ability to travel. All these things move for a reason in the cosmos and the celestial ethers. See, and we have to get through the body realm. We got to get through the soul realm to get to the final
traveling
ethereal realm.
That's right. That's right.
And you need these guidelines of understanding in order to navigate your mind, because your mind is the only thing that is mine. So you're not going to leave with anything else in this world but your mind. That's the only thing that's yours in this world. And so that's big right there.
Yeah.
So that gets you to the second heaven.
Yeah.
Once you understand that and know that, that opens the gates to the second heaven. But then it's also foes, just like with the fleshly nature, that you have to overcome and learn to now better yourself through perfecting yourself to get to the third heaven.
Right.
So, and this is a whole step-by-step process. So as we see, we in the 10th name.
10th name of Allah.
This is very powerful.
The perfect 10, the true perfect 10.
Right. So when you evidence is when in the hands.
That's right.
The perfect 10. So the moon governs the body. Just like the moon governs the earth.
That's right.
The moon governs the body.
It does.
So things that's based in time and space is controlled by the moon. The moon is the Lord of the earth. So just in that reality, Islam is the same as nature. So the moon is your body. So now you have 10-10.
And a friend. 10 and a friend.
From a friend. It's like, and this is a real
true friend.
A true friend. And this, so we'll never forget that how we and the cosmos is a divine influence.
Yeah.
We don't supposed to be influenced by earthly things. We're supposed to be influenced from a divine level, from a divine influence.
And that speaks of why we are so troubled, because we ain't being consistent with divine influence, but artificial and someone else's influence.
Yeah.
Because see, when you're dealing with somebody else's rules and regulation and order, but then that be the case. It's just about like getting your military papers. When you receive your order papers, you don't question nothing. When you get them, all the explanation is right there in your paper. You just read it, and then you apply it to it. So we ain't dealing with divine order. And that's what we're supposed to be going by and living by. Nothing else.
That's what Islam is designed.
Yeah, that's right.
As.
That's the purpose of Islam.
That's the purpose
Islamism.
Islamism covers everything that's unknown and known. That's Islam. Before it was named Islam, it covers what we was doing in the ancient times.
And I just want to address something here that I constantly hear, and this is why the three-headed monster and the three-headed dog, they throw Islam in there with Christianity and Judaism, and throw Islam in there with it. Now you got the three-headed monster, and now you got people who behaving just like maniacs in Islam as they do in Christianity, because you got the Sunni and the Shiite, and they going against one another and at each other's throat, and then you have the nation pit against them, and then you got the Christian pit against the Jehovah's Witness and the Catholic Church. Oh, you got a hell of a mess, what I'm trying to say.
And that's what I was speaking on yesterday. It's messy. It's messy. And that's why most people's minds is confused. I'm not confused.
Me neither.
So all of that was just named, that's for those people who just let it be messy. They let it stay messy. I didn't let it stay messy for myself. So for myself, this is where I know that people don't have a mind. This is high level, third heaven talking. When you have a mind, you're so clear of what is and what is not.
That's correct.
There's no such thing as men taking over anything.
That's right.
So that don't even exist in the land of fleshless things. So when you consider yourself flesh, then you're not a mind. That's two totally different things. Flesh belongs to flesh.
Yeah.
What can't get to heaven is flesh.
That's right.
The mind is heaven.
Right on.
And if we don't understand this is why concepts have been mixed into people's minds to brew and stir up confusion. So now the part of the mind is confused with different ideologies and never going through yourself the fire to find out what is evident and not what is told. Because I've never seen a Sunni or Shiite personally myself, but I heard of them. Yeah. But that's what I mean, the difference between a mind and flesh. Yeah. A mind has understanding that if you have the proper Islam, then Islam don't look like that.
That's right.
So anybody can claim anything with words. Yeah. This is the thing that has to be known. Yeah. The favorite word for a Christian is God.
That's correct.
So the same thing, people begin to worship words.
Yeah.
And not the quality of life to live. Mm-hmm. So when we are speaking about these people, these are the people who have mixed their ologies. Mm-hmm. And we have to know time, space, history, formation of how these things came into creation. Mm-hmm. If you don't know that, that's how the mixologies get mixed all in. Mm-hmm. If we don't know where Christianity come from, if you don't know where Islam come from, if you don't know where Judaism come from, how can you sort out? That's right. You don't know if I tell you to go get a hammer, if you don't know what a hammer is, how you gonna get it? This is about logic. So if people are just telling you things and you ain't never sat with one, you don't really know one. That's right. What you know is what you need to know is how it's supposed to look, how it's supposed to operate. And if anything different than that, then it's a lie. Uh-huh. And this is where you have to call it with your mind as clear as possible. That's right. The soul is different than the mind. Right. The soul is the seed that holds all the attributes inside of it. But the mind is when it's fully developed as a harvest. This is what's going to get you into heaven when you see your flower bloom, when you get your paycheck on Friday. All this is in resemblance of the mind at full blossom. This is where all this work comes in at. This is why it takes a long time. That's why they just jumped in the Bible and showed Jesus at 33 as a master of all masters, a master of self. But they didn't show his grind, what he had to do to get there.
That's right.
And how long it took. It takes time.
There you go.
For you to actually achieve the mind.
There you go.
We ain't talking about the soul and the body. These are the things people still don't know how it functions yet. So they don't understand the moon and the sun. Because these things are equivalent to the understanding. We just read with the sun, right? Where it said the sun is the perfect carnation. What's that mean?
The sun coming up next.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm ahead. I just already know.
Yeah.
But this is what we have to refer to. This is what Noble Drew Ali came and cleaned up.
Yeah.
And said it was Islamism because of these people that you just named.
Yeah.
Done mix their ologies.
That's what I'm talking
into
about.
Islam, and they ain't even Islam at all.
There you go.
They just using Islam.
Yeah, using the name.
Using the name and cloaking themselves.
Throw it in there with Judaism and Christian.
Right. So this is where the word Judaism comes from. Judaism is twisted Islamism.
That's correct.
This is how you get Judaism.
Right.
But somehow Christianity don't got an ism in it.
Yeah.
And Islam don't got an ism in it.
Yeah.
But Judaism, the only one got an ism in it.
No, that's coincidence.
Because they stole Islamism, which is Al-Bakr.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about. They burned down the Persians, the Umayyad. That's what they burned down, calling the Temple of Alexandria. Mm-hmm. The Alexandria library was the Al-Bakr.
Look at that.
The Al-Bakr is where all this knowledge was taken from and twisted into Judaism, which they call Kabbalah. Kabbalah. I call it.
Yeah.
They call it Kabbalah. Mm-hmm. what they have done was taken a law and mixed it into their Kaaba. And now you have Kaaba law instead of Kaaba Allah.
Yeah.
So all this knowledge that comes in the Kabbalah comes out of the Kaaba Allah, which is the Al-Baqar. This is ancient history that was stolen and turned into religions that we know today. That's why every religion that's formed today came out of the Al-Baqar.
Yeah.
And the highest people who have twisted this and used this to rule over people instead of, let's say, redeeming the people, they use it to rule the people.
Yeah.
And that's Judaism. Judaism is a hybrid of Christianity. Christianity is a branch of Judaism. Judaism and Christianity are both against Islamism. Now, we should see with no contesting now that is right there in front of your eyes. You heard about it 2,000 years ago with Israel and Palestine. But now it's 2024.
Look at that.
And here it comes, Israel and Palestine. So Israel represents Judaism. And who backed Judaism? The president.
The Christian, that's right.
The president. The president backs the Judaism, showing that Christianity is in allegiance with Judaism.
That's correct.
So now it's clear on the scene in front of all the public eyes that Judaism and Christianity is one. And they've been acting as they separate. And this is what they've been calling church and state, being separate, but they actually one. So one controls the whole political, then the other one controls the whole religious arena, which gives them authority over the whole land. And so instead of knowing Islam as the land, they have given us some other laws and called this the law of the land, which is the law of Abraham, or maritime law, the law of the waters. So they have taken the moon, which represent waters, as we finna keep breaking down, and they call it Mary. When you see that word Kamar, this is where they get the word maritime. Maritime coming off the ancient, because our land bumped into their waters. This is what they said. We get that.
Okay.
See, this is what they call Washington, D.C.
I'm seeing the clear picture, because just as you was explaining that, I couldn't help but see the deception that's going on and taking place when they are doing a David Copperfield on, just like when you see USA over here in the West carry the cross and represent Christianity, and then they got the Judaism, which is the Israelite over there in the East, what they call the Middle East, in the United States. And Israel is working hand in hand in their deception and their evil and military ways. Right now, as I speak. And now you can see them trying to stir up, I don't know how many wars, because they are the instigators of everything they do. That's not a coincidence that the USA giving Israel $3.8 billion a year. No other country. Just Israel alone. There's a reason for it. And there's a reason in everything we do. What's in it for me? Because if someone doing something, you better believe it, there's in it for them. So they ain't pumping all that. In other words, they ain't pumping all that money out there. There's something on the other end, and a rainbow, part of rainbow and gold on the other end. Let us move on to number 8,
which is the people.
Did you want to say something? 8. We talk about the moon now. Who arrival and departure is without the precision and certainty of his heavenly brothers and sisters. Third, for its mystery, its dominance of the night, and its ability to reveal. The moon reveals even to the most dull-minded the wisdom and the power of Allah. Look at all of Allah's representatives, the sun, the moon, and what all it does. I learned that even the tide in the ocean move because of the moon. When you're learning all about nature and what force it has on one another. And all this is even the dull-minded, the wisdom and the power of Allah. The wisdom and power is being manifest right before your very eyes. And you don't even realize what's going on. All you do is look up and you see the sun, and that's it. It's just the sun. You think no more, no less of it. And you look up, you see the moon, you think no more, no less of it.
Mm-hmm. It's already evident. That's why it says it that way, dull-minded.
Dull-minded, yeah.
Because it's about what I was saying about the heaven. You're going to need the mind to enter the third heaven. And see, if your mind is dull, you're not going to third heaven.
That's right.
If you don't even understand the moon, this is what we're saying, that you can't even understand that a creator exists.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You see this moon.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think a creator don't exist, dull-minded. See, you're not going to no higher realm. You give no. Islam is based on contemplation and activation. If we don't contemplate the works of our creator, you're not trained in the mind.
That's right.
Allah is logic in the nature of the mind. Mm-hmm. This is why we have to sit and understand our own self so we can begin to understand Allah. Mm-hmm. So just looking at the moon for all these years, just my time, I haven't heard many revelations from people of just saying about the moon. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But when you go in ancient times, man, these people will tell you so much.
Yeah.
And so it's like what I was speaking on, how the moon is connected to the body. Mm-hmm. See, man does not observe.
That's right.
Especially the male. The male don't observe that the woman is connected to the moon. This is just lack of observation all the years of life because you're clouded in the mind. And so thoughts cloud the mind. So this is what people cannot see because they dull-minded from the thoughts that cloud their mind that's distorted and murky. Mm-hmm. So how can you see something clear and transparent with thoughts that's colorful? Yeah. And so as we see the moon right now, we're in a new moon cycle. Mm-hmm. The new moon, you don't see a moon right now, but it's there. Yeah. This is what it means by its arrival and departure. Yeah. Without the precision. Uh-huh. You don't know, sometime it'll be in the east, sometime it'll be in the west, sometime it'll be near, sometime it'll be far. Yeah. If you just study the moon on a level of the divine creator,
Yeah.
not just for planting a seed.
Yeah.
That's for human affairs. But when we're talking about the divine creator, why that moon exists and its power.
Yeah, and its power.
This is what creates a vibrant mind, or what they say, a high vibration.
Yeah.
When we can understand the wisdom. It took wisdom to make that moon.
That's what I'm talking
about.
We
looking at stuff down here. Like, it's amazing. Like, this computer, like, it's amazing. Man, this thing is floating in air. You don't even see no human just floating in air right now.
Chain hooked to it. And then it ain't just drifting all over the place.
Right, this thing got direction and order. Yeah. Like what they call it, self-AI, self-driving. That thing moon self-driving. Allah self-driving. Everything from Allah has a self. So it drives.
Don't need Joe Biden, no need Pyongyang that old crook from Israel. Don't need none of them.
And that is a living light. That light is more alive than the souls down here on this plane.
Yeah. No. When we look at the divine creation, that don't captivate. What captivates us is these old so-called evil leaders and shooting guns all over the place. And then now they got the flow. And all eyes on them and when they next move. This what done captivate everybody. And all eyes on the big seven ball, the leaders, which they next move. Nothing got to do with divinity nor divine. And this is what's on every the most dull mind.
Nobody ain't been.
Listen, in my age and older and 60, they ain't got a check.
That's my question. You ain't got it yet. And it's achieved. So you telling me
what you been doing?
Exactly. Because I can count 18 years it took. Just a full graduation, just like it took 18 years to graduate on the earthly plane from high school. You're supposed to go into the ethers after high school. See, most people didn't know that. They went to start working.
Yeah.
So they didn't even graduate to the ethereal plane. After you leave the high school, this is where this is why you need to come to my academy. Al-Sufian Academy on KOScommunity.com. Teachings and the wisdoms of the how-tos are, and we work this out. So when we're talking about, these are just the narratives of how you, in a way that if you don't need his teachings, here you have it. But if you into advanced science and advanced metaphysics, then I advise you to understand the singularity of all happenings. But and once again, we have to understand what is happening. Our mind by Jacob. Jacob was the religious dogma that was giving you the story of your birthrights being taken from you, which is the knowledge of yourself. The highest part, the greatest part of you is your mind, and that your mind is yourself. But you need of the mind to be able to this for yourself. It just don't fall out the sky like a white dove in the book. You have to actually work attention and contemplation. It's just like anything you want to do when you want to get great at it. But if they have not studied the stars, the moon, the sun, the ancient, then they have them. So the academy is designed just like school to divine. These are the lessons, the elementary, to learn about the elements, how they work and how they function, how many they were, down to the number and the science. So now when you learn your higher science, called high school. That's how you that's the modality of how everything works. Then you get into the college, or the college is where all the universe lies. Everything in the physical lies with astrology, astronomy, and cosmology. So this is where most people understand the sciences, but they understand the stories of these sciences that
after he said about the road that we've taken, starting out with elementary and all the way up, and that what causes us devastating to us is that word religion, because somehow, some way, in our kindergarten, it finds its ways in our life. God and religion is always constantly hanging around, and we are constantly hearing it, and and now everybody going to all these different places called God, where God lies at. See, and this have really brought more harm than learning and studying the real truth. Because we get God and religion all day long. It was mandatory that we go to church. But the parents made it mandatory. Church, you're going to leave here. That's what they used to say. You wouldn't stay here. Now, if you didn't go to church, you wasn't going to be in this house. You wasn't going to be left in the house. And you wasn't going to be. That's where they were strict on that. But they was molding us the wrong way, what I'm saying. Way because it get close to the divine creator, but it wasn't taught right. The people who were teaching us was insufficient. I'm gonna have to just put it that way, because they are like today. No, just like they're learning today about the moon. They didn't know the moon doing all that. They didn't know the moon that was our master's companion.
And that's because before the cellular came, you never had a Bible. That came with the cellular. Everything that came with the cellular, he gave dogma.
Yeah.
And so it was never understood from the beginning. It's a book. How can a book be more sufficient? Our people give the book like its creation itself.
Yeah.
So this is how our people have school.
Yeah.
They give more reverence to the book.
Yeah, that's what they'll do right there. The Bible. Get the Bible. I get the Bible.
Yes.
They don't know who in the hell he is.
Yes. You just be in the universe. I'm saying I'm the one that's going to say it. Most elders don't know. If they did, you would just, I ask all elders right now questions that contain in the science of the universe.
You're gonna mess them up.
No elder don't know these things. If they did, they'll be teaching it.
That's right. They ain't talking about it.
And so the elders that's teaching it, they know it. That's what I was.
Right.
But the ones that's not teaching science don't know it. How many weeks in a year? Let's ask a question like that. How many weeks in a year? That's
it's supposed to be 52.
Cosmology. 52. That's cosmology. Now, where did that come from? Did that come from the book? The Bible? That come from ancient wisdom to understand the cycles of life. Mm-hmm. We think the sun is going around 5 days in a year. Due to text, we don't sit and just actually study and to see what's really going on in life.
Yeah.
And this is where our people be at fault. Yeah. We don't understand self, so we don't understand life. Mm. If you understand self, you will understand what's happening in life. Same thing as self. Mm. It's the replica. Mm. Mm. So now when we're talking about the moon with 52, that is a governor scale. This is why I said that length of a man is the length of an angel. But who figured it out? What's the measurement of an angel? Now that's something totally different. See, these sciences, because they ain't into these sciences, to what they into. It's divine beings who incarnate, who can bring you these knowledges. Allah don't ever send anything.
That's right.
So you can know.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And so these things have to be known if you want to get to the third heaven. Mm-hmm. If not, keep paddling around lower sciences, elementary, high school, and university.
Yeah. Let's see what happens.
What philosophy of is built off of. Mm-hmm. Those 4 things, they don't tell you those things, but they use those things to keep the people underneath the religious box.
Right on.
But Islam never had a book. That's why it wasn't never about a book. Mm-hmm. It was about creation.
Yeah.
Sun, the moon, the earth. That's why wasn't no temple. We didn't build church in America.
Right on.
America was the temple.
Right on. That's right.
Earth is the temple.
That's right.
And so now we build the church. You gotta be a preacher. These things don't belong to Islam.
Yeah.
Which Islam belongs to Allah. Islam don't belong to no man.
Yeah.
Islam, who is the divine creator.
Yeah.
Who that moon is a living being.
That's correct.
So who we think made all this living creation?
Thank you.
You don't think the creator made what's above too?
Hamburger, right on.
So we talking about everything that we seeing is living being.
Yeah.
But we don't question to see and to what is life.
Yeah.
Because life is answered through the moon, the woman, the male. Yeah. Everything is answered through these cycles of life. Mm. We all made from the sun. We made from the moon.
That's right.
We made from the constellations of the heavens.
That's right.
And see, we call them brothers and sisters.
Right on. There you go.
So when we talking about brothers and sisters down here, because only Americans say that.
Yeah.
No other people on any other landmass call each other brothers and sisters.
Right on.
This is how connected we have been to our divine creator.
Yeah.
Now we at a time while
Right on.
as we continue.
And if you love life, you won't go out and harm others anywhere.
Mm-mm.
Let's move on to number 8.
Anywhere.
No, number 9. No. Let it be said, many generations ago, when people did not have such knowledge, nor the to read. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I was present at that time and at that moment. I know people that just said they couldn't read nor write.
Come on with it.
I bear witness to that statement. And would you believe this? What government of other people, what government that have love in their heart would draw up a legality against another people and say that they could not read nor write? Once upon a time, this was so,
Really sound familiar. Yep. In America.
In America, USA, the one that they said, God bless America.
This is the original land.
And have the song that say, oh, say, can you see? See, they're asking you something. They're asking you a question in the song. Oh, say, can you see? Because if you can't see, you better watch the song. Say, can you see? And if not, he asking you a question because if you can't see, he's finna take you for a ride. Got a little dormant on you. Let's move on. Said many generations ago.
Did not have such.
Nah. We got the fast lane. Knowledge in the fast lane. Do you have an excuse now if you don't have it?
Otherwise, no excuse.
KOS has it, baby. You can rest assured that just assured. 11 said they believe the moon to be a god or goddess. They believe the moon to be a god or. Well, in your belief, we do know this right here, and this will fight that man in his belief, he can call it a god or a goddess. Because man has been trapped in that as well. Because when we look at belief, you so many things that might not be right or insufficient. We get so trapped in our romantic affairs, we believe that someone loves us in our relationship. And then somehow, some way, sour. What happened?
Door-mindedness. You can't. Well, life is a reflection of what you are. Study nothing. You won't have nothing on your head. So your head gonna take over. And once a man ain't even associated with his heart, it really become like be done because ain't nobody really been activating their heart and mind working on it.
That's correct.
They've been getting objects. That's not your heart and mind.
That's right.
Most people focus on how to survive. That's not your heart and mind. You was already born to survive. And that's why you got a heart and mind. Understand these are things we're supposed to understand. Why does self has a heart and mind? For it to sustain itself. We don't need any external thing. Luxury given to us. This is why we're supposed to have minds. Because we neither those things, but we have access or the capacity to do all. But we don't want to abuse. And so this we need to understand that even people long ago could read or write. This is important. People died in a state where they could not read and write, and they did not have this knowledge.
Yeah, now what about that? Now look at that.
And so a lot of people are still from these generations. People are still living through them. These are the same thing coming from the stars and the skies if we only knew. So these things that was like it as a time Allah was claimed to have the name Allah, and Allah was the name of the moon god. So this is where you get those type of stories from.
Yeah, reading that about Abraham. Yeah,
where people would mislabel things and not knowing what they were truly in essence.
Yeah.
Because knowledge is that important. We got this period, we got the greatest access to wisdom ever. All these people work through it while we inherit the greatest inheritance.
Yeah.
Not only land, we inherit knowledge of how really life works. This is what they had.
That's beautiful, boy, to have that.
That's what they in the past, and that's what Islamism was. And Islam is a gift to all of the world, not just black people.
That's right.
But all of the Islam was made by black people for all of the world. Ancient niggas, ancient wise niggas. These what we have to understand. But if not, we're going to be worshiping objects. This is why you come to and say, don't make no graven image of the creator.
We were warned that.
An image of the sun, an image of the moon, anything above or below. Yeah. No graven image. Yeah. But we don't understand that's Islam. It's trying to show you what Islam. But they stole that and said Israel.
Yeah. And you know, it's amazing how when you look at these images and all, they take a trophy, like when they're going to be fighting and battling out for that trophy. That basketball is round about like a moon, and they got a moon shape that everybody for 6 months go at it hard. And but we just wrapped up in so many wrong things. Going at the wrong. We start out wrong. I guess going in wrong. We start out wrong. Okay. 12. Of such the moon be to the hunters by land was ice, and forests grew across Arabia.
That's how ancient
Haven't
the moon
you heard before that the Sahara Desert wasn't always a desert? It was green grass. This is what Super talking about. Once upon a time.
Before your city lights. This is about before cities. Before cities existed.
People think that's always been that way.
Poles and street lights.
Yeah.
Of course,
They thought it always been there.
And that's why we have to understand the true light. It was always the moon. Just because now people, the dirty Moors, them built street lights and all that.
Yeah.
Don't ever think what man built was the first. It could never be.
Okay. $13. That they gave the moon certain names and be it worshipped. Look at that.
There you go. See, naming these objects.
Gave the moon certain names. And all I could think about, but we as ancestors, they did the same with us. They stopped calling us Negroes, African Americans, all kind of names. People are quick to do that.
And then worship the name given to them.
Yeah, and yet we have the knowledge of the ancients to know the moon as heavenly and did not as
It's important.
to know the moon, ancient, to know the moon as heavenly and not as a god.
So that show you, if you talk about God cannot even be associated with heavenly. This is how important the understanding of God is, but we don't understand it in the way that we need it to be understood.
$15. The ignorant, foolish Yamayah who terrorize and threaten do not understand. The ignorant and the foolish, they do not committed to just war. They don't understand, y'all. They don't have it. Warmongers. Terrorizing and 16. They see the moon as a supreme deity in their madness. 17. The merchants and moneylenders have purchased these people and have them by saying they too worship goddess moon.
These the same people.
You did the same trick. They say what? God bless America. And the merchants, which is all the name, the bankers, the money, all the name of banks. That's them boys, y'all.
Yeah, it's the English crown.
And everything is functioning. Nothing on TV without pertaining to the merchants.
The devil runs the world, y'all. I have to just say it clear because it takes specific. Like, we're too general. We gotta know what it is. Like,
that's right.
The devil is running the world and has deceived the world.
That's right.
And most people are doomed already.
That's right.
This is why one must understand to come to Islam is how you redeem yourself. I'm gonna say it like that. Outside of Islam, you're doomed. Because ain't nothing has an approach that takes you to the directly to the divine creator.
Right on. And I can bear witness to that what you just said, because being 73 years of age, and once was a Christian and didn't know Islam, and most everybody that I know still stand over in the Christian field. And that's why I know. Doomed because I know. And if I hadn't got my act together, I'd have been doomed too, because I had to change and get away from that and come over to the Islamic side, where I rightfully belong. Because once I left that side and came to the right side, my whole knowledge, my whole demeanor changed.
Everything got great.
Everything great.
Mm-hmm. Everything got
that you see this way.
mm-hmm.
And I can't tell you how good I feel behind all that. We gonna get right in this act, because you're good everything.
Mm-hmm.
It just ain't nothing pertaining to nothing but goodness.
Yes. Goodness.
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 Goodness there.
Mm-hmm. So these people, now we see the supreme deity for them is the moon. So their God is the moon to this day.
Mm-hmm. And then they have made man their God, because if a certain man or certain people come over here and wearing the robe with the white robe, they bow down. I've seen this here too.
Mm-hmm.
So we in the head, that dull mind go right back to the mind. That dull mind. When your mind is dull, this is gonna be the outcome.
It's gonna be the outcome.
To go. You talking about, because if you look at money and moon, it pretty much start off with MOON, the moon, N.
Mm-hmm.
Work with the vowel chain, that put and a Y, and sometimes Y, A-E-I-O-U, and what? Sometimes Y. And that's where that money comes in. Money and moon. And now everybody's looking for a dollar. 18 says, verily, the false merchant worship only one deity, being money. I just got it out my mouth.
That's the connection.
And what everybody needs, money to do what? Pay their bills. And who is bill? And where the bill come from? Because that divine divinity, none of this here. You see God creation, and you see man creation. You ought to see the difference. Now, and everybody going at man creation. One more verse to go. 19. Honor then the moon and our ancestors, but not give respect to the moon and give ancestors. Give respect to the first people that was on planet Earth. And we know who they are, because all came. Don't y'all know in that land that you should be giving the so-called black man the highest of all honors of the land and of the earth, as well as the moon? Because talking about truth here, I'm going to read it one more time. The last, honor then the moon and our ancestors. ancestors. And we know who they are.
And so, I mean, it's just so evident to myself, especially when they talk about money. Are people guilty as charged?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, if we see, because I like to go, I'm advanced, so when I read, I be seeing all type of combinations revealed. So moon is the word money, as you said, and money and moon is the word man. So man is controlled by money.
Mm-hmm.
His only idea that he needs in life
Yep.
for salvation
Yep.
is money.
That's it.
This is the male. Now I know for a fact a woman loves something more than money. So the male, he's guilty for this.
He's guilty as charged. That's right.
He's getting the world through money. Women he'll never get. He's using money to get.
Yeah.
So when we're talking about males authority comes from having money.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
See, and it's being designed that way through the system.
Yeah.
Man don't think the creator.
Mm-hmm.
Is his main
Yes,
object.
Oh yes.
Creator or his creations.
Oh yes.
But as it said, then to show that the man that's on us.
Yeah.
When you look at the faces that's on the money,
Yeah. Uh-oh.
grandma,
Sure does.
your auntie, your great grandmother,
That's right.
any of your kinfolk.
That's right.
So we have to understand that you've been tricked.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
And that's the only place where God is at.
Yeah.
God so happened to be on money.
Oh, money. Wrote that on that. In God we trust. On money. On the
money.
paper. On what he loves.
And if sorcery ain't real, then the mail ain't real.
Uh-oh.
Because that got the mail.
Uh-oh.
Man think it's the biggest amount of money. The more money you need, that show you the less morals.
I noticed that.
If
I noticed that.
If you have much money, you are emotionally poor.
Yeah.
You don't have any emotional qualities
Yeah.
that are wealthy.
Yeah. Yeah.
The mind is not money. Seeing people's minds is only, and if the reverse process, if we are given righteousness shall be added unto you.
Yeah.
Money and righteousness, they can go together.
That's right.
There's such thing as called righteous money.
That's right.
And so if you want to get the righteous way.
Right on.
And the way that gets money is through Islamism.
Mm-hmm.
This is the only way to receive righteous money.
And that's who made your God the money.
Right. The sorcery real. These people
are
real. Adepts.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wizards and witches.
Yeah. And do you notice how the money that hold us?
Mm-hmm.
And them made money, they got their chest all stuck out and become Mr. Big Stuff. Notice how they behave and how they act because they kept righteousness and you got money because This is what a righteous man would do if he have money. But and you ain't gotta ask him nothing. Because he wants to see others have it. Now, this is what I say to the millionaires and the billionaires that's sitting up there and can't take none of it with them. There should be not nobody, there should be not one person called poor if you're me. And I'm talking to all the millionaires and billionaires. And if you be in a tree, nothing you do. There should be not one person, there should not be one beggar on the planet. Sincere about life in the true divine way.
Yeah.
Because that's what the divine creator did with the earth itself. He fixed it and decorated and designed it with majesty that you didn't have nothing to worry about when you were born after born. Just behave and be obedient.
And that's the beautifulness. And somebody trying to steal our joy.
They not pretty much stole your joy because ain't nothing, everything in life, it ain't in my, everything is a red and depression, oppression, but believe everything, majority of us wake up.
That's why I do not associate with any of that. People got their own. I'm myself.
Yeah.
I do not wake up that way in the Creator's presence. It's nothing better. Myself. I mean, people may find what they find better. For me, that's not. I deliver advanced sciences. I have classes. I have books, all available. So I don't know none of those things. This is why. Because I have on my works, making sure my works are pristine and perfect, and making sure they can help who all attends to them, as the divine creator helped us. And so these are things that money is not no works. I mean, what it's gonna do? Get taxed, get spun. Knowledge is what's indispensable. That you can never run out. What I've given people, they can never run out. I done ran out of the money they gave me. Yeah. Life itself took that away. But I bet you still got that knowledge. Mm-hmm. And so that's what I mean. This is immortality. So everything I'm doing and giving will be in immortal stance. It does not die. It has everlasting value. Because I have not spent my last years piddling around with the petties. I've been on the greatest of the great. And so when we are speaking about the truth is just as have anything associated with it. The truth is the truth. You are the truth. And if you see anything above yourself, then you are a fool. I'm not associated with anything that's not connected with me. This is just how it is when you grow. You stand alone, have this and have that. No, you learn how to stand alone. You don't need them, they, and the stories of them and they. I speak in myself. I founded a community based upon knowledge of self, not knowledge of anybody else. You can leave your problems because they're your problems. You come over here when you want a solution. I didn't spend my time bringing problems. Knowledge of self is a solution to all questions. Just get off your mind. And this is where you'll find everything that you need to be. That's right. And if you can't find that within yourself, then I have created myself portals for you to access greater and this is time for myself, to know what I'm doing and what I'm doing for the people and under what. Because I no longer associate myself under any form of Christian culture. Because like I said, I've been living in a different circumstance, and this circumstance have provided me a divine revelation. So I have nothing to do but to give that back to what I received. But now it's going in a different route, in a different form. You got to pay your dues. You got to get up and you got to get what you got. You get what you pay for. I see many people spending money on many avenues. So if you think you're not going to spend on your soul and getting your soul cleansed, and you think I'm finna deal on the sense of freeness, then you must be stupid. So this is not what's happening anymore. Everybody have got me for what they have. I blessed everyone, blessed, and I gave it to you free of charge, then ask a cost. Whatever's in your heart was given. Now there is on everything that come from my way. So when I'm speaking, I have my products, I have my services. If you're willing to look at them and have them, use koscommunity.com. I'm at because when people are, I'm about self. If you about getting yourself together, you ain't like everybody else wake up when they go to pee, who they with or none of that. You worrying about your soul and your relation to your divine creator. Then you. So this is my proposal as I'm to the public on business terms.
I finished my super shade. You want to take it for some 10?
Super 10, the sun, Al-Shamas,
Something.
1. O you who believe, let it be said, Al-Shamash, the ninth name of Allah, the infinite, the all-knowing. Upon the first rays of the morning to the heavenly setting at evening, in the great glow of fire through dust or flame, or its own hidden nature of fire and turmoil revealed upon an eclipse. Nothing can grow or live without the sun. Nor can any creature withstand its power even for a shade. The sun is thus the nation of Allah in a matter which even the simplest of mind may comprehend.
That's powerful. Nothing can live without this sun. Think on that. Powerful living source. And the perfect combination of a
Perfect. And let you know, perfect in heaven. For me, all that stuff have the greatest value. Like I said, I turned the world down. I ain't go back into the world after I received my revelation. I've been 10 toes down, 24 hours. So perfect coordination. That's what it's about. That's telling us that the sun is pure. That's the purest coordination.
Mm.
Just for me. I really meditate on these things and I really stay. So the sun is equivalent to your soul. So this is why one must, in order to get to the third heaven, one must come, must run, one must return as they came, pure as the sun. So this is the understanding that's outside of books. Because you must traverse these heavens, and the sun is a heaven that you must traverse as well. The sun has a spirit. That's why certain rays, and it's not like the spirit of the moon, nor is it like the spirit of the stars. These things operate at different times of the day. Because I'm thinking about asking you just to read all of it. And we just finish this up.
Number 9.
The whole Sufa. Because if she read, we'll just finish it all up today. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
all
Stop speaking on it.
Yeah, like the first super, second super, third super, you can have the day in itself.
I'm starting to feel like I'm talking to myself. I just have to stop.
If you were 9, we can make the single. Yeah, more than me.
Okay, Sufa 9. Sufa 9. The singer. Al-Mughni. One, O you who believe, let it be said, Al-Mughni. The song, the voice, the singer. And the 8th name of Allah, the one, the absolute, the through the song of the wind, upon the sand and through the leaves. The roar of waves upon the shore. Songs of the birds at dawn, and the cry of a newborn, even unto the desert, the rain. All are manifest in the voice. This is why I feel like nobody should ever be sad. I mean, but my world is just not everybody's world. I mean, you got the experience creation, you got the live creation, you got to do what you do. I mean, the song of life instead of the book of life. it. That's right. But
Voice the singer.
mm-hmm. But do we appreciate it?
Then a lot of us won't use our voice, and then some cannot sing others, and then some people write songs, and it's all kind of avenues that people take. And song, voice, and singing.
Right.
Some use their voice for reason.
Mm-hmm. That's the difference between why it's the eighth name of Allah, because you have not heard an animal sing.
Mm-mm.
And you have not heard an animal voice. And the animal don't do anything in a song-related format. I'm feeling how you feel. I can just feel it. Yeah. I just feel my job is done. So I said we can finish it off.
Okay. Do you want to take that one?
You take it.
Because
Sister 8, the small. Al-Sufian. O people, there is no other deity but Allah, the compassionate, the beneficent, the gracious. All praise and worship be to Allah, no other. In the smallest grains of sand that sparkle in a moving stream, upon the upon the wings of a butterfly, in the smallest of the desert flowers after rain. Behold, yes, even in the smallest is to be found the hand and wisdom of Allah. Verily, it is upon small things that all great things are made. The bee and the great flowers of Asia, the small infant born so beautiful. Thus, the small depends on the great.
Mm-hmm. You bear witness to all this, what you see too.
mm-hmm.
Bear witness to all of it.
It's just a blessing for myself.
Small things and large things and great things. Super 7, the great, the air Kabir. One, oh you who let it be said, air Kabir, the great. And the seventh name of Allah, the infinite, like unique, the all-knowing. 4, to the mountain covered in snow, to the deepest valley, to the widest river and highest cliff. 6, to the largest of all creatures. 7, all that is great is so at the design and hand of Allah, the Almighty. 8, even unto the sun, the moon, all the celestial bodies. The greatness of Allah is then beyond what we can see. You behold whatever you see seeds, you see birds, you see people. All that you see is from the great
Mm-hmm. And the greatest that we see is, and we see the sun, and it's The greatest is beyond the sun.
Beyond.
This is what I'm referring to as the third heaven.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm concerned with. Everything else is mastered already. Third heaven, baby. If you want to come to third heaven, please come to the classes. That's what it's all based on. That's what KOS is. The unseen.
9. To the vastness, unseen greatness of existence itself. Greatness of existence itself.
That's where I'm going. Returning.
Ooh-wee.
That's my returning.
10. Yet like the elephant, the great and powerful depends on the small and agile. 11. If not for small birds that catch the insect from around the elephant, mm-hmm.
The flies show you how powerful the small is.
Yeah, but you got enough flies, boy, I tell you. Same as the bees. The little ants, ain't no one ants in there. You shake this thing out, boy, there's 1,000 coming out at you.
Multiply.
12. If not for the bee in the water, the great grass fields of Asia would be dust. Look at that. Field of Asia, I had the name. 13. Third depends on the small. Small. Thank you.
Six, the unmanifest. Al-Fatim. Oh, you believe that it be said out the unmanifest, the inner, the one, the absolute, the all that cannot be seen remains part of Allah. Even all that cannot be named or fathomed. Such is the vastness and incomprehensible supremacy of Allah. An ignorant man sees value only in his words, not the space between them. Yet, it is the space between our speech that gives meaning to life. Such is the unmanifested void. Without the existence of the unmanifest, nothing may manifest. Such is the paradox of the divine. Take away its name and nothing may be described. Such is the mystery of the unmanifest. 5, the manifest of Zahar.
O you who believe, let it be said, El Zahar, the manifest, the evidence, the hour, name of Allah, the infinite, the unique. All that which may be seen of the mind of Allah. 5, that which may be described is through the manifest gift of language from Allah. An ignorant man does not witness his thought. 7, to him such an idea seems as foreign as the lie of a king. 8, an ignorant man places no value upon the ability to think, to reason. You see that each and every day and all day long. And as if such gifts of Allah are worthless to him, like the gold of a merchant lost in the desert and dying of thirst. 10, to him it is as if our ability to speak, to think, to reason, to learn, and to manifest are no different to breathing, to eating, and to relieving our bowels. Look at that. Boy, now we know, and boy, we know it's serious. Yet they don't take the ability to speak, not to think, not to reason, not to learn. It's serious. They do the. If we can go to that right there, the ability and to make it, speaking, reason, and to learn. You about got to twist somebody on to learn something this day and time now, because they ain't got time, they ain't be still on
Yeah. Well, they ain't
Who got time now to want to learn something?
They ain't paying
With
for
all this activity going on.
I haven't seen it enough now. If they ain't paying for it,
Yeah.
it's ignorant.
Money ain't involved.
Ignorant is when they pay for it.
11, such is the cruelness of the ignorant. Is by thinking and by the manifestation that Allah brought into being all we see and hear. The power of thought is strong enough to be an empire. Ooh, read so boy, we must be sleeping. I thought. See,
That's the positive side of it.
empire.
That's the side we ain't on. We on the opposite side of it.
Yeah, 14. Yeah, dangerous enough to die are the very things they fear the most.
That's our people right there. We on that side of thought right there. We ain't on the side of building strong things that we can see lasting, but we're on the side of dying.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we end up dying, very things.
Very
Death and fear.
Mm-hmm.
And drown and overtaken us.
All alone have killed the words.
Mm-hmm.
And it also have helped a lot of people, in other words. Higher self and lower self.
Mm.
Grand golden rule right there. Which by now it's new to others, but it's old to me.
Manifest. Manifest.
Mm-hmm. The evidence.
The outer day.
So that brings us to a close. Close in the name of Allah. Yes, Wadu. Mm-hmm.